Aren't you tired of your wife asking you to do basic chores in the house that she can easily do herself and do it better too at that? So I'm just gonna go in there and do it poorly because you know how women are wanting things done in a specific way, because then she won't ask me to do it anymore if I just do it wrong. That is weaponized incompetence. Now, before we dive into this video, I want you to watch the whole video, get to know me a little bit, and see if you will consider subscribing to your girl. Okay, now weaponized incompetence. Let's talk about it. Now, what exactly is weaponized incompetence? The Google definition for weaponized incompetence is when someone knowingly or unknowingly demonstrates an inability to perform or master certain tasks, therefore leading others to take on more work. Now, there's a difference between genuinely not knowing how to do something and making mistakes and not doing something on purpose because you just don't want to do it. When you don't know how to do something like cleaning or your homework, you will look into how to do it, right? So you can learn how to do it better, or just keep doing it so you can like just naturally do it better, like continuously doing it. Like with cleaning, because I feel like we aren't taught how to clean, we're just told to clean. So we just naturally pick it up because we do it like every day, and we just naturally know what needs to be done and how to do it. I don't know if I explained that right, but you get what I'm saying. Now, what is not okay is when you're asked to do something and you do it poorly to get out of doing it, and that's when it becomes weaponized incompetence. Now, this is something that is quiet but deadly. It's not loud at all. It is actually very quiet when you're doing it. It is shown through your actions and through strategic helplessness. Now, you may be thinking, what if you just need help at this? You're not going to automatically get things right the first few times. Why are you getting mad at that? Nobody is getting mad at people that make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. That's the process of learning, and that's when you need to have patience. But when you start to do things wrong on purpose and not try to do it right so you can get it done like correctly when you do it the next time, that's when it becomes weaponized incompetence. And it's always intentional. The intention being getting out of work because you either just don't want to do it, or you're expecting the task to get done by the person asking, so you're going to do it sloppily to avoid getting asked it later in the future. You see this a lot in marriages, and that is what we're going to be talking about. There's unfortunately so many women whose marriages are a living nightmare because they live with a husband that acts like a child. You know, the husbands that you have to tell them to do simple tasks every single day. And when you stop doing your normal household chores, the house looks like a tornado because you didn't tell your husband that they need to clean up. So how do they know it was supposed to get done?
Oh, this is crazy. Look, after Valentine's Day, look, everything, just stuff all over. Dishes.
That was a lot to take in. So let me show you some examples of women living through this nightmare called marriage. My former boyfriend, who couldn't put sheets on the bed correctly and acted like he had never seen how a fitted sheet was supposed to look. He also gave up when the pillowcase got twisted because he just stuffed the pillow in it. Had an ex who couldn't make himself a cup of coffee, tried to teach him, and he would run out of the room because he couldn't handle it. It was coffee regular or with milk and sugar. Okay, that one's just funny. Sorry. My dad, my mom cooks him breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. Whenever she's not home, he tries to make her feel bad by not eating anything. He can't even make himself a toast. My little brother, who never washed the dishes properly in his life because he knew that if he did a bad job, everyone will stop asking him to do them. We saw right through his little play, and instead of abusing him and making him wash them again or disciplining him in any way, we would just let him have his way because he's the baby, which me off and my older brother off because we will get punished for any half jobs we did. My grandfather, who is now in his 90s, has spent his life as a walking weaponized incompetence. Starting from his youth to this day, he's never opened a fridge nor used a stove. He doesn't even know how to turn on the TV because my late grandmother did everything for him, including cleaning the toilet after he used it. She told us a story about how she gave birth at home and left the bed to cook for him an hour after the birth because he wouldn't be able to feed himself alone. Okay, that's enough examples. So many men wants to be leaders, protectors, head of the household, yet they get their wives to tell them to do every little thing. That's not giving leader. Like, do men not realize how attractive it is to a woman to not have to tell them to do every little thing and for them to just take charge and do it themselves? Women become naturally submissive when they're around a dominant man that actually is dominant in not a toxic way, but a nurturing, protective way. And we don't have to baby them all the time. Like, that is very attractive to a woman, not having to baby their man. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have to tell people to do things if you want it done a specific way or just to do anything, because people, you didn't read people's minds, okay? You can't expect people to do this and get mad when they don't do it if you never told them. And just because you do it without a thought doesn't mean that they will. So that's when you need to communicate and let them know. Now, you may think weaponized incompetence is just with actions, but no. It's with words too that may come off as a compliment or you being simple-minded. Examples are, you're just way better than this than I am, or I tried, but I just keep doing it wrong, or you do it way better than me, so you should just do it. That seems like compliments, like, kind of, don't it? But when you start repeating those phrases a lot just to get out of doing your tasks, then you're just lazy and you're just a bad guy, okay? What you're doing is slowly making your partner resent you because you're making it such a big deal to take a load off of your partner or something that they do every single day. Like, you should be happy in a marriage. You should be happy to want to take the slack off of your partner and let them relax sometimes, no matter if you're the man or the woman. You see that a lot with husbands, and something for you husbands to know is being a husband means for your family financially and emotionally and physically, but mainly emotionally, okay? So if you are just so keen on not helping your wife because you're already bringing home the bills, paying the bills, working, and your wife is the one who's supposed to be cooking, cleaning, all this stuff, so it's her job to worry about all that.
Let me look right in this camera and talk to men real quick. You're a dad. You have made your wife a mother. Let me tell you something. You do not get to say that you going to work is you being a father. That's you being a worker. You going to work isn't you being a husband. That's you being an employee of somebody's business. You would be that if you didn't have a wife and if you didn't have kids. So stop coming home from work and making your wife and your kids feel like you going to work was you being a father and you going to work was you being a husband. Because that's not what you just did. You went to go work for wages. When you come home, you still need to be a husband. When you come home, you still need to be a father. Now, yes, you might be tired. I've been tired. Yes, you may be emotionally drained. I've been emotionally drained. Take the time that you need to reset and then give your wife some undivided attention and give your kids some undivided attention. Nobody's asking you to clock back in for 8 hours. Ain't nobody trying to be inconsiderate. But don't come home and then have your phone in your hand and can't make eye contact. Don't come home and give your wife 2 sentences about your entire day. Maybe you don't want to talk about work. Talk about your feelings. I'm just saying, ain't nobody going to be giving out no certificates and no ribbons and no crowns for you going to work. You giving that man 12 hours and giving your wife 2 minutes and want her to be appreciative? Man, stop.
If you're not willing to help her every now and then, You're a bad husband, and don't be surprised when she puts them divorce papers on that table. Don't come looking at us when your wife don't want you no more because you over here putting all this burden on her, by that burden being you. You seeing her just spiraling, but it's her job, so why do you need the help? If you see your wife like that, why are you as a husband not wanting to help her, not wanting to take that load off of her? You need to be there for your family in the work field and at home, okay? Hey. Okay, this is editing me, and I want to say that I do believe in gender roles. Like, if my husband is paying for our house, paying for all my wants and needs, it is the least I can do, making sure he comes home to a clean house and a cooked meal every day. But it's not a bad thing to want to help out every now and then. And like, I feel like some stay-at-home moms be trying to find like a side hustle to provide for the family too, like just to help out the husband, to take off that load on him a little bit. And I just wanted to put that out there, that it's not a bad thing to want to help. It's not a bad thing to want to help. It is not like to downgrade your leader role at all just to help your wife. And some wives do be wanting to help their husband, so, and they don't see anything wrong with it. They try to do that side hustle, but I just wanted to put that out there okay. I would rather sit in fully clothed black attire in Arizona heat than deal with a husband that acts like a child. Because I bet the men that knowingly act this way towards their wives would never act that way in the workplace. And I know if you do it back to them, they're going to go in on how you just need to do your task as a woman, and it will become a big problem.
Here's a scenario for you. You ready?
Yep, I'm listening.
Okay. The house is a mess, right? And you come to me and you're like, Haley, can you help me clean up the house? We got a lot going on today. I just need an extra hand. You know what? I'm like, I got you. Say less. You know what I'm saying? I'm your helpmate for a reason, big dog. Big dog. Just give me a list of things you want me to clean up and I'll do it.
What do you mean give you a list? You see what was going on in the house. You see what needs to be fixed, and you see what I'm working on. So just work on something different than I'm working on.
What you mean, money? How I know which one you want me to do? Just give me a list and I'll tackle that list. Like, tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it.
You do something, and if I see you're doing it, then I'm just gonna do something differently. I shouldn't have to tell you what to and what not to do.
Okay, but also there are certain things that you're just better at than me, and you get mad at me because I don't clean certain things the way that you do. And honestly, I think it'd be easier if you just give me a list of things that you're okay with me cleaning, you're okay with me doing, and I'll do that list. Like, I'm a team player. I'm about to help you out. I'm gonna get it done.
It's not the fact that I do it better. I mean, if you see how I'm doing it, why don't you just pay attention whenever I'm doing it, and then you can see how to do it the right way. Like, don't say just, oh, by default you do it better, so maybe you should just clean it.
No, because last time you got mad at me when I got bleach in the dark colored clothes. So I said, you know what, since you don't appreciate the fact that I even tried, I'm not going to do it no more, because you get mad at me when I don't do it the way you do it.
So if you know bleach don't go in it now, because I told you that last time, don't put bleach in the dark colored clothes this time. That's simple.
See, just give me a list, money. I don't know what's so hard about that. You want me to help you to begin with. So I'm trying to help you. So make me a list and I will get that done. All the things you want me to do, I'm willing to do it. You act like I'm not trying to help you. I don't. See, this is why it's so hard doing stuff for you, because you make it more difficult than what it needs to be. You act like telling me what you want me to do is a hard thing.
I need you to help me, help you, help me in this situation. Just see what's going on. After you see what's going on, you're going to see what needs to and what don't need to be cleaned up. If I'm working on something, you work on something different. And then if it's not done, ain't no such thing as been done before. I just need to be clean. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point because you're throwing me off.
I feel like you just make things a bigger deal than what they are, and it makes me not even want to clean up. So at this point, I might as well just let you do it by yourself, because no matter what I do, it's never up to your standard anyways. It's never clean enough. It never looks good enough. You got bleach on my black shirt. Like, you didn't even appreciate the fact that I tried.
And if you let me do it by myself, then you can just find you somewhere else to stay.
And now you threatening me with splitting up? That's such a narcissistic behavior. I'm done with this.
Let my man try to act like that, because we are a product of our environment. I feel like most men that do this come from households that have very strong toxic gender roles, see their fathers acting like this, and mothers that treat their sons like royalty, the head of the household, yet treat their daughters like trash. Now, I may be wrong, but all that can make them grow up to avoid accountability, responsibility, and hard work in their own homes. I personally do believe in gender roles. They literally go hand in hand with each other. It's just the world that makes it so toxic. Like a man buys the house and pays all the bills while the woman makes it into a home and cooks and cleans. I mean that the man gets a free pass to be lazy in his own home and not do anything? No. No. That can be a whole other video because I know the men are already probably mad at that. And if you live like that, where you as a husband don't do anything in the house because you expect your wife to do everything, I hope your wife finds better. Now back to being your environment. I feel like if you toxically, is that a word? I don't know. But if you put those gender roles onto your kids in a negative way, it being the daughters have to cook and clean while the sons get to play the game all day, that's going to make the son like just not respect his wife for real. In my opinion, I can't speak for men, but that's how I think it is, because they think that their wife is just gonna have to cook and clean. They don't have to do nothing. They get to just be lazy all day and they get to take that load. They don't have to, they got to deal with it, you know? I feel like that plays a role into being like having weaponized incompetence as a man, with as a husband later on. The men that grow up to be terrible husbands are the ones that saw in their own household their sisters being treated like trash because they're expected to cook and clean for them all the time, and their mother and father just lets them do whatever while they get to sit and just have fun, play on the game all day. And as a man, if you see your father treating your mother poorly, showing signs of weaponized incompetence, what do you think they're going to grow up to be? Because I think that sons take more after their fathers than their mothers when they grow up, because you know they're a man. That's the man in their life. Now the sons that are real of their environment for real is the ones that have mothers that treat their daughters like trash, but them like royalty and the head of the house, letting them do whatever they want, but their daughter gotta be cooking and cleaning by 6 p.m. sharp. Like, did you see the 17-year-old girl that got in trouble with her mother because she didn't cook for her 20-year-old brother?
Because I didn't cook dinner for her raggedy ass son. Only 17 years old. This man is 20 years old. He can cook food, too.
I know you better get your shit and pack it up right now.
But Mom, I don't have anywhere to go.
You got to get the hell out of here. I don't care about that. That's a you problem.
Mom, I didn't cook because I was doing my homework.
Yeah, Adrian, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you eat?
Yeah, all I had was some serious shit to cook, man.
Your brother been and you ain't cooked shit and all he had was cereal?
Mom, he's 20 years old. Why am I cooking for him? He can cook for his fucking self.
You gonna do what the fuck I say in my house and you get your shit and get the fuck out of here.
Y'all are raising men to expect others to do things for them just because they're a man and can't even live by themselves because of what you're drilling into them. Y'all are raising sons to become terrible husbands that would do nothing for their wives because it's their job anyway. Now, being a product of the environment isn't the case for everybody, but I feel like that's definitely a big factor, all I just explained. Having weaponized incompetence definitely comes from somewhere. If it doesn't, then I don't even know, but it definitely comes from somewhere. Everything comes from somewhere, and that's definitely a learned behavior. The people that weaponize incompetence are making themselves comfortable at others' expense. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any experience with that in the comment section, because that was a lot. And that's the end of the video, and I hope you guys consider subscribing, and I hope you have a blessed day or night, and let's talk about some more in the next video. Bye.